Okay, yeah.
Good. Hi, I'm Brett from Run Queensland, and you're on Sunday Runday. And today I'm joined by the pocket rocket from the Flying Finn, Cecilia Mattas. G'day, Cecilia.
Woo! Hello.
I think you're a little bit frozen on my screen at the moment. Hopefully, you're coming back now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can hear
Well,
you. So
somebody might
hopefully,
get a funny face or something then.
yeah, you got your face is just locked in there. But anyway, it's all good. Hey, yeah, thanks for joining us today. You're going to be running in this year's Blackwell 100 in October, finishing second last year. Well, we thought we'd have a little bit of chat about all that sort of stuff. I firstly wanted to start by, well, obviously you're from Finland. For those out there, do you want to give us your background about how you came to Australia and then what your running looked like with that?
Okay, yeah. So I came to Australia 2015, I think the first time, November, to do my internship. Super randomly, I just wanted to go to. I work as a dental technician, and that's what I was studying. And I just wanted to go to a lab where you can learn a lot. And apparently, this lab here in Budrim in Sunshine Coast in Big Australia was the place to go to. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there. And first, I actually thought it was in Brisbane. Even better that it was Sunshine Coast. So that was a nice surprise. Like 1 week before I was gonna come here, I'm like, oh, we're actually gonna live like next to the beach. Anyway, so I came here and did my internship and went back home to finish my studies for just about a month, came back, did my farm work for 3 months to get my second year visa because I wanted to stay longer, work for these guys, and travel. Ended up just being working, and then they wanted to sponsor me, and it went on from there. And coming here, I used to do a lot of running and some swimming back in Finland and Sweden, but then I did something called swim run, which is trail running and swimming, and then you just do it all in one go. And obviously, there was not a lot of that going on here. So I did some gym, and then I randomly saw some events pop around the area here of some trail running, and I was like, oh, well, that sounds kind of fun. And yeah, I went and did an event and also bought a car so I could actually get to the nice trails. Otherwise, I was just running around on the streets here and on the beach, which isn't too bad either. But yeah, and then I just loved it and I haven't stopped since.
Yeah, and going on some of your results, which we'll talk about shortly, geez, you've improved like dramatically. I think we might have first met you. I didn't go back through these results. I looked on your ITRA today just to get a few
Oh,
of these results. But I think we might have met you
yeah.
at one of the Biwa events, I think, if I remember correctly. And I remember watching you
Yes.
run there and thinking, wow. But I didn't even realize that this running sort of has only just started in the last few years on these trails. But when you look at your results, it makes sense. You are coached now, though, aren't you, as well?
Yes, being coached ever since January 2019, just like 6 months before my first UTA 100.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, obviously I needed to get some support for that because I had no idea how to train for anything like that.
Yeah. Still the same coach?
Yes, I'm very
Yes.
happy with her, and yeah, so I'm
Well,
just gonna stick with her.
you're in pretty good hands. So we're talking about Jodie Oborn there. So I,
Yeah.
I thought I'd better check all this stuff out, but I knew that you've been coached by Jodie. She's got a vast background in all this ultra marathoning from 50Ks right through to bloody over 100 miles and stuff with her. So definitely a wealth of experience there for you as well.
Yeah, no, it's been really good and super simple. She just tells me what to do and I do it. If I feel a bit crap someday, like last Friday, I felt a bit crap and I just didn't feel like running and I just skipped that run and the next day I felt better and then it was just, oh, yeah, all good. And otherwise, I'm very happy with the training I get and yeah, it's just so much easier. I don't need to think. I just do what she tells me to do and run and yeah. It's very
That's
nice to have a coach. I'm so happy to have her.
So that's interesting though when you say that. So you were saying there, which I really think is an important point about the trail running, ultra running, and that if you're not feeling it, you're sort of saying you don't run, you'll just wait and then just pick up the next training the next day.
Yeah.
I think that's massive, hey, because there's those times when you feel like you kind of intuitively know, don't you? Like, I shouldn't be running, I'm not feeling the best. But you
Yeah.
still sometimes try to push through it. And I've found in my running that when that's happened, generally they're the times that I've been injured or get a niggle. It's almost like tuning into how you're feeling, I guess, on the day sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's actually super important. Like I think you deep inside know, like, should I run? Because sometimes I can be fatigued, tired from work, like what not. And then I can be like, okay, well, I go for 10, 20 minutes and I'm just like, okay, I'll just go and try and see how I feel. Because sometimes you're not really sure. And sometimes after 20 minutes, it can be all fine. But yeah, like last Friday, I just felt like, no, it was like, not a good feeling. I was like, oh, am I getting sick? But yeah, good night's sleep and some chill time, and I felt good the next day. So yeah, whatever it was, it went away after some sleep and rest.
Same.
And yes, I didn't lose anything, and back to normal training. And it could have been different if I went and pushed that day and went for the run. The next day I could have felt probably the same or not, maybe even worse.
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, it is massive. Okay, let's have a chat about, okay, so I went on ITRA today. Do you know, you actually, just a point for you, you probably need to go on there. One of your events, I think it's the BTU 30K, it's got you as an Austrian, and you won that. So anyway, the other ones are all that you finished, so that's fine. Let's go back to 2000.
Oh, that's weird.
just in case you needed
But
that.
it's all spread there.
Pardon?
Yeah, they maybe needed to put it into two categories and just mix it with different people.
It's you. They okay, so if we go back to 2019, you would have run the UTA. Yeah, UTA came first, and you ran that. You came 12th in 13:05, which I found quite interesting. And I remember you saying that you were close. You felt like you were going to get close to the top 10 there. That was your first 100K, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I actually didn't know what place I had. That was the crazy thing, because I just went there for obviously first 100K. Have no idea really what I'm doing or what I'm getting myself into. Yes, I just went there, and I don't know, I was expecting it to be terrible, but it was actually really nice. And I didn't have my phone on because I didn't have any crew. I was just there on my own. And obviously people and my friends who followed me, they had messaged me and telling me how well it went for me. And I had no idea. I was just running. And then I found out I came on the 12th spot, which is super cool. And I didn't know that I would place that well. Like I thought it was, great first 100.
Well, then if you jump forward 2 years, I remember seeing you at the start line this year. I don't know if you remember this. And you were, I think I was standing just in front, and you came up as you were bounding past with that massive smile on your face that you always have when you run. I'm like thinking, oh, here we go. It was freezing cold. But you came past me with this giant smile on your face, and I remember having a quick exchange, but I remember you saying, have a great day out there, Brett. And I'm like, okay. And, all the best, go get them and all that sort of thing. And then off you went. And then I'm getting feedback through the day saying, oh, Cecilia was in second, and then you hit the lead. So, and obviously you ended up winning Ultra Trail Australia, which is massive. It's huge. But what I think is really impressive about it is your time, 11:35. You didn't just like knock a PB, you destroyed it. And I was talking to Megan today. So you knocked an hour and a half off from 2 years. I was talking to Megan today, and I just remember how cold it was. And I said, I just think it's because Cecilia had a home ground advantage with being freezing cold. It would have been like being in her element. But I mean, it was an amazing run. Can you sort of talk maybe a little bit about how that day went for you and what it looked like? And did you also, one of the questions I have that feeling of running scared kind of thing when you hit the front, because I think you hit the front with quite a bit to go. But anyway, do you want to just share a bit about that?
It was like the most perfect day ever. Like the start was obviously a bit like getting there can be a bit of a hassle, not knowing exactly like where to park and that kind of stuff. And we came there like with not a lot of minutes to spare, if we say so. And yes, it was a bit stressful in the beginning in that way, but I don't mind. Like as long as I get to the start line in time, that's fine. Yeah, and then I forgot my gloves in the car because I wanted to put them on as I got out of the car, and then they just were left in the car. But luckily, I got a spare glove from Ben St. Lawrence as we came back through like the start line or where the start was. And from there, I just started working my way through, got a bit stuck in the beginning, like behind people, and it went quite slow on the technical parts. But when we passed that, it was like, good running. And I felt just really good. I was just running in my own pace, didn't try to catch anyone because I didn't really know who to catch. I just, ran as I felt. And then I just started to catch all these people. And then obviously when I get to the checkpoints, people say like, oh, the second female or the first female is like just in front of something. And at Nelly's Glen, I ran past the first female. And I didn't think too much about it. I was just like, just running and just went by feeling. And I was maybe like, oh, am I running too fast? Like I'm first now. But I really like tuned into myself and it felt good and I trusted my body and it just went. And I just felt so awesome. It's like so crazy how you can feel that good.
Well, I can safely say you were running fast. That I think we can safely bet on that one. It's really cool too. You had to run a marathon out in front, and it's I think listening to you, that kind of knowing to keep running within yourself and all that sort of stuff, and not be worried about all that external stuff that you've got no control over, I think is so huge for anyone of any ability. So I mean, congratulations. It was such a big thing. And I think from all of us on the like all of us sunny coasters, it was massive, like to see this the little pocket rocket just smashing it. Like, I mean, I know like Luke Eldo, he was bloody updating and all this sort of stuff. And it was just huge. So I know they'll follow it on the
super
Instagram.
Cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was just so good.
Yeah, it was really nice. And I did not expect to go and win. Like I had no expectations. I just wanted to have a good run. And I was like thinking top 5 would be great. But most important, just have fun, enjoy the run. And because it would be really tough if you had a bad day and you felt a bit crap.
Yeah.
Then 100 super long.
Yeah, it is. And it's a long day to be miserable about it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Blackwall. It's going to be on in 6 weeks. So how are you feeling about all the preparation for that? It's a pretty big women's field. Like when we look at that, there's a lot of fast runners. There's a couple of unknowns there with Risha Lewis. That'll be her first 100K. So she's had some success with all the 50K events over the last 12 months. So how's your lead up been?
It's been actually really good. After UTA, obviously started recovering and you feel a bit funny and and then I ran BTU 30Ks and before that I also felt a bit crap. But after that I started just feeling good again and training has been going really well. Working on a few things, like I've had a niggle in my hip on and off for a while. It's not major, but it's just something I'm really cautious about because a niggle can become a big injury. I know that from last year, so now I'm super cautious about what I feel in my body. And yeah, I got onto it and got an MRI, and there's a I have a minor bursitis in my hip, and I had some tear on a glute medius minor. I can't remember the name anymore. And
yeah,
nothing
minor,
major. Yeah, nothing major, but yeah, something to work through with the physio, because it's some area I need to focus on, because otherwise it will always be an issue.
Yeah.
So I'm working with a physio now, which is like close to work and home, which is good, and getting stronger and training accordingly. Training is going really well. I've been doing some social runs, which has been really nice. Been running with some other people, and yeah, I feel good.
They'd be nice casual runs when you're running with other people for you. So last year you finished second in the Blackall 100 in 11:45. So I suspect that, looking at the field, I would suspect that you're probably going to have to run low 11s or something like that this year to win that, which is quite doable on that course, I think, if you get the good day. So it'd be super interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to watching you guys go at it this year. I know everyone runs around with a smile, but it's still fun, I've got to say.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. Like, it's gonna be really good. Like, I just hope I have a great day, and whatever happens, like on the field, happens, and I just want to feel good, because last year was tough.
Yeah, a lot of people had a tough day, which is quite interesting too. Which leads me to my next question, would have been, have you got any advice? Because I've also got to let everyone know that you won the 50K back in 2019 as well. So the Blackall 50, you won that as well in 5 hours. So you were flying then as well. Have you got any advice for someone that might be coming for the first time or might be new on this trail that you could give them based on your experiences in the last couple of years there?
I go into every race quite similar, like run your own race and don't go out too fast in the beginning. Like, you just see everyone sprinting away like mega fast. If you want to have a little sprint in the beginning, like, go for it, but then come back to what is your pace and what you know you can run on, and not try to latch on to anyone else. That would be a big thing. And then, yeah, obviously it depends what you want out of the run. Like, do you want to like compete, or do you want to just have a good day and have a nice run? Yeah, so a big thing is like run your own race and don't go out too hard. And then
we definitely see a lot of that in the first, especially in the 100K, in the first 22Ks, that loop around Condalula Falls and back to QCCC, because there's kind of, I guess, it feels really runnable. So what we see is a lot of people go really hard for, I guess, a half marathon, and then by the time they get to checkpoint 3 and they start to climb the bluff, the heat can be on, and it's, people just blow up deluxe, and it's just, if they could just hold back a little bit, it would just make such a difference to their day.
Yeah, like 100K is long. It's a long day, so you have time to take it a bit easier in the beginning. And also, if it's really hot, like that's a big factor. Like last year was very hot, and yeah, if you ran too hard or didn't bring enough water, I'm sure you would have suffered from that further down in the race. But 50K is also a lot, so I think that would be be mindful in the beginning and don't go out too hard. And what else would there be?
Well,
just check where there's stations.
The 50K is the same though, because you can open up on that to start with too. There's not a lot of climbing until you really hit, like real climbing, I guess, till you hit the bluff. Like there's smaller climbs in there that, you know, warm your legs up a bit. But once you hit the bluff, if you push too hard,
Yeah.
it's the same principle really for the 50 and the 100.
Yeah, exactly. And then check where the aid stations, is it called? No, checkpoints and water stations are, because if it's hot, like I remember last year from checkpoint 3 to checkpoint 4,
The water station up the top,
like remember to fill up, because after the bluff, like I was so thirsty. And then the baby bluff comes, and just have enough water, because I ran out of a little bit of water. It wasn't too bad, but after the baby bluff, I was like, give me water now. And luckily after that, there was like a little water station, which was really good. But I think if you're out there longer, because it takes a while to climb the bluff. So yeah, be mindful of that.
You make a really great point. We always say to people, when you get to checkpoint 3, and we had loads of water left there, so we know that people weren't filling up. When you get to checkpoint 3, fill up before you climb the bluff. And then when you get to the top, just top up your water. I mean, it's so critical. Like that, the mandatory gear's there for a reason. Like that 1.5 litre of water that you have to have, you're really going to need that when you start climbing that bluff. And you can fill again at the water station up there. You know, the Sunny Coast Trail chicks will happily fill those bottles up again for you, so that you can get up the baby bluff, because everyone forgets about that. We're talking about the climb up to Uber G camp after you go past Durrell Falls. That's quite tough. It's 2 kilometres, and people forget about that, and it's big. So yeah, I think they're amazing points you make, Cecilia. And if I was going to recommend anything about that event, they'd be the things that exactly what you've said. I'd be saying the same thing. We see it all every time, every year. So hopefully a few people watch this, and if they get anything out of this other than hearing about your amazing story, it's to get that. So the other thing I'd like to, if you don't mind sharing it, what a training week might look like for you. Because obviously you got a dog as well.
So now running wise, I run 6 times a week, and I do Mondays usually an easy run, and then Tuesdays interval session, some kind of interval session, and then Wednesday has been rest day, and Thursday has been interval or hill repeats, and then Friday has been an easy run, and then back-to-back runs Saturday and Sunday.
What sort of distances do a back-to-back run look like for you?
So we do hours. So like as we start building up, it can be like 1.5 hours, and the next day 1 hour, and then the next weekend it could be 2 hours, 1.5 hours, and then 2 hours, or 2 hours and 3 hours. So yeah, building up, and then depends how I feel after. Like recently I had one Saturday that was 3 hours, and then the Sunday was 3 hours 30. And after that I was quite tired, so we like pulled it back again. So it just depends how you also feel after like a big week.
Sounds like
so this week has been a bit recovery, or last week was a bit of a recovery week.
That sounds like some good coaching right there. So you're not doing anything over really 3-hour runs?
Well, I did now a few runs. One was like 4 hours, but we stopped because I was running with the guys in Gold Coast hinterland, and we stopped plenty of times to have a dip in the waterfalls. But mainly they are like around 3:30. And it has worked for me really well. And I didn't have that many of those runs before UTA either, because I did the Southeast Queensland trail running series. So I couldn't do too many long runs because I would just be so tired otherwise. Which you also need to be as well, but there's always like a balance. You don't want to you don't want to need like too much recovery after all your running. so that you can continue like training.
Well, I think the proof's in the results anyway. I mean, there's other results I got here. I mean, there's like top 4 at 6 foot trail, all that sort of stuff, you know. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, think you know, like more is better and all that sort of stuff, and it's not always the case. I mean, it sounds like there's specific sort of training sessions to deal with hills, you know, your speed work, and then long runs, but with back to back, you know. So obviously the Sunday you're running on a bit more tired legs, you know, so you don't have to go and do super long hours if you can get the right sort of training. I mean, you're clearly proving that.
Yeah, like it seems to like everyone is different. So some people can manage like a big load, but I don't think I might not be one of those people. I've been really happy with what we've been doing and how the training is set up. Yeah, everyone is different. I like to keep it like this, and like you see also when you go and do races, like if you perform or not. And also what is really important is the taper before events.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, before UTA, like the training, like during the Southeast Queensland trail running series, it took a lot of focus and energy because needing to drive to them, and sometimes they were like down in Gold Coast. And overall it's just a lot of focus around the training, and you like I was a bit like, oh, I just want to get to taper because I know then the load will be less and you get to recover and you start feeling good. Yeah, so taper is really important, like to let your body recover and just get ready for running. And you also want to feel like you want to run. Like it would not be fun if you feel like you're not really recovered or that you're a bit tired of running. Then it would be a tough day on course, I would say.
Yeah, I always feel like the events I've done better at, I kind of go there feeling, well, maybe I feel a bit underdone sort of thing. But really what it is, it's just this like I'm ready to run sort of stuff. The ones where I've overdone it, I can feel it. You get there and you feel flat and tired. And I'm just, yeah. So everyone, we're at taper time now. So don't overdo it and get injured and stuff. Get ready to race because it's only 6 weeks out. So listen to Cecilia.
Well, I would be in peak training now. It's still a few weeks to train well, and then after that, maybe start taking it a bit easier.
Yeah. Well, oh, geez, we've chewed up about half an hour already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've just been chatting away.
Time flies.
Well, I'll let you go and get back to your training and work and all that sort of stuff. And can't wait to see you race in 6 weeks. It's going to be a really cool day. Can't wait to get out there with the rest of the community and, you know, bring all our Blackwell 100 family together just for an awesome weekend. And I'm really grateful that you're going to be part of the race, Cecilia. It's been a real pleasure watching you do this stuff over the last 4 or 5 years. So, yeah, thanks for coming along and thanks for spending half an hour with me chatting away. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm super excited for Blackwell too, and to see everyone. And I hope everyone feels their best that day. And don't worry, just go there and enjoy and run your own race. And say thank you to all the volunteers and grab the water. Don't hesitate. And yeah, have the best day and say hi to me or everyone else out on course cheering us on.
Everyone's going to ring the bell this year. We'll have no DNFs.
No DNF. If you're super injured, maybe DNF is one you need to take. But
I agree.
Yeah, just hang in there and push through.
Yeah, know your limits. Yeah. Oh, look, in the camera, we've been getting you freezing off and on too, but you've come good right at the end again. So you're going to have some funny pictures there with eyes shut and stuff like that. But you've come good right now, so we can say goodbye. And yeah, I'll see you in October. I can't wait for us to have that weekend together and enjoy all of our friends.
Yes, see you there.
Bye. Take care.
You too.